Alright everyone, I think we figured it out. The final secret, the final Easter egg in The Witcher 3, as teased by the developers recently, has been found. I've already made a couple of videos documenting the process of my search, but if you haven't watched them, let me bring you up to speed and I'll try to be as quick as possible. Basically, a few days ago, during a CD Projekt Red live stream, developer Phil Weber teased that there is still something quite significant that hasn't yet been discovered in the Crookback Bog in the village with the crones.
So it's actually telling us about a character, and it's been always in the game, and it actually has pretty big story implications. But as far as I can tell, because I actually checked the internet, like, oh, do people know that? I've never seen it mentioned.
Wow.
So, you know, I'm not going to say what it is.
Okay,
but
maybe
there is one thing left.
A little hint where, I don't know, you know, it's been a couple of years, so
Yeah,
maybe people need some help.
It's connected to Crookback Bog and that little village with the crones. But I can't say more.
Guys.
Turns out it's not the woman flirting with the cow, but it is in fact, as we suspected in the previous video, the final tapestry of Weavess. However, its meaning goes potentially much deeper than we thought. So, during the worst ending, where Ciri and Geralt possibly die, we see the last crone assuring her dead sisters that they will soon feed on Geralt's soul or something. And as she does that, she keeps on doing something on the table in front of her, and it's never shown exactly what. Then Geralt shows up to interrupt her, and she goes out to tell him how Ciri is dead and how he will die, and so on and so forth.
Ciri is dead. Naught but a small frozen corpse in an icy wilderness.
You lie.
We then fight and kill her, and the game ends without any epilogue playing for Geralt, implying that his fate is uncertain, and the only information about Ciri is that she was never seen again after entering the tower.
As for Ciri, that's hard to say. Since the events on Hundvik, she is yet to be seen.
But if we return to the place immediately afterwards, even though the rest of the world is still in the state that it was prior to the ending, the House of the Crones is exactly as we saw it before we fought Weavess, and we can in fact see what she was doing on that table. It turns out she was weaving a tapestry, and not just any tapestry, but one that depicts the same tower in Skellige from which Ciri teleported to stop the White Frost. And once again I have to thank a viewer of mine by the name of Yaroslav, because if it wasn't for him, I would not have guessed that there's an actual picture on this tapestry. I thought it's just burn marks or something. So initially that's where our findings stopped, and I theorized that perhaps the crone saw Ciri's death and what she told Geralt was true. So I tweeted that to Mr. Weber, and he did confirm that this is indeed it. However, we still have to figure out how to interpret it, which to me basically meant that my interpretation of the crone seeing Ciri's death is incorrect. So I took another closer look at the tapestry and I saw something that I didn't see before. At the very top, there is a bird, possibly a swallow, flying away from the tower. Now, for those of you who don't know, Ciri's name is derived from the elven word for swallow. You know, Cirael, or however it's pronounced. Now combine that with the fact that the swallow is a symbol of rebirth, of new life, of spring and so on. It actually also fits with Ithling's prophecy quite well. And also there's the fact that CDPR likes using such birds in such ways. I think they did it in the ending of Cyberpunk, you know, the one with Panam. And also, a couple of viewers have pointed out that the name of the tower, which I won't try to pronounce, means a she-falcon. And Ciri in the books did have the alias Falka, you know, after the actual Falka character from the past, which in turn is also derived from the word she-falcon. So even if that's what the bird is supposed to be and not a swallow, I think it still ties rather neatly with Ciri. And based on all that, I believe that Weavess did indeed glimpse into Ciri's fate, and she found out that sometime later, possibly around this very moment, Ciri came out of the tower alive and well and left for good, deciding not to return to Geralt because of the poor choices he made.
10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60.
It also works quite well with the fact that the worst ending is the earliest out of the three. It happens only 1 week after Ciri entered the tower. And as for Geralt, it could be looked at in two different ways. The positive one is that because we are able to witness this tapestry, therefore Geralt survived, but the negative is that his death is made even more tragic, in a way, by the fact that he gave his life away while mistakenly assuming that Ciri is dead. And back to Ciri, given that she's the one who killed Weavess' sisters, and if the Crone suspects that Ciri is alive, that might explain why she sounds extra angry when confronting Geralt.
That little whore! Her cursed blood! She slew my sisters! I am alone! 'Tis your doing!
And perhaps she told him that Ciri is dead to demoralize him. It did seem like his death will somehow benefit her sisters. Maybe she had a way of sacrificing him to revive them. I don't know.
His pain, his icy suffering will be yours, and you will feast on him. Soon, sisters. Very soon.
So, something along those lines is my final interpretation. I think it makes sense with the hints given by the devs. It is in the village with the crones, it is in the Crookback Bog. It does have quite a significant story implication, aka that Ciri lives. And if true, that means we can easily have her in The Witcher 4, despite which ending we got in the third game. Until now, that was one of my potential issues with Ciri's appearance in the next game, but not anymore, I suppose. Now, you may be wondering if I have confirmation about this from the developer too. And no. I think he strategically stopped responding to my tweets when I asked bluntly if that means that Ciri is alive, but he did confirm the significance of the swallow in the picture, so I think this has to be it. And if it isn't it, I'm curious how you would interpret it instead. And this is quite significant for this ending, I suppose, because I've always said, if you've seen any of my previous videos about the endings, that the worst ending is all about interpretation. And this secret, this Easter egg, is just one more piece of the larger picture. Another thing you may be wondering is if something happens if you actually go back to the tower after this ending. But it doesn't seem so. I took a look around, both in daytime and nighttime, even glitched myself behind the door, but I didn't find anything special there. So that's all I had. Thank you all for watching, and please let me know what you think of all this. It was a lot of fun discovering both this and Vivienne's secrets, and I wish to thank Philip and the rest of the developers, many of them who are sadly no longer with CD Projekt Red, for the amazing game they created. Alright, thanks again for watching, thank you for your support, and until the next video, stay tuned and be good.